Tell us some of the awards also that you've won for your innovation.
Sure. So at first, Vaxibox wasn't really received in the market because the way it looked so rugged. Then also tell them we made it in Kenya. People don't really trust locally made products, especially these technologies. But then over time, when we did more pilots and demonstrate to people that this thing works, and also it works better. You're able to keep your vaccines here at the clinic, but then also take it to the field. We've gotten so much positive reception from Vaxibox. People love Vaxibox. People love the story that we keep on telling them that we are ordinary Kenyans. We built this and we're competing with the whole world to bring this solution and ensure that we impact you the best way. We've seen governments coming in to want to partner with us. We have MOU with Makueni County and Kajiado County, and that's just a show that slowly Kenya is embracing and accepting Vaxibox. Most of the trainings and demonstration that we've done, people are always amazed that this version of Vaxibox is actually built here, and they're intrigued, that they're attracted to test it out, and when they realize that it works, they just love it. So, and because of that traction that slowly we've had, Vaxibox has won so many awards, just locally here in Kenya and also internationally. Vaxibox was the reason why I became the first Kenyan to win the Africa Prize by the Royal Academy of Engineering that is based in the UK. It has also won the Diversity and Inclusion Award last year. It also won Startup Energy Awards, just so many awards. Yes, both locally here and internationally, which to me is just an indicator that this small dream that we started, slowly people are learning the story, they're loving the story, but then also they respect it because they are acknowledging and putting a stamp of it, like we approve the work and the impact that Vaxibox is giving in Kenya, and also as those who are sitting outside Kenya, they approve and truly agree that this technology is changing lives. So recently we got featured by Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, who recorded one of our healthcare facilities in Kajiado County, storing the vaccines, them doing the field vaccination with Vaxibox on a motorbike, and they featured it on their site. To us, that's a very good acknowledgement that they truly do agree that this locally made product is changing lives and has the potential to even change so many other lives, not just in Kenya, but to the whole of the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you started off with a grant of $100,000.
Yes.
Now, what is the biggest grant you've gotten so far to help you in your R&D?
Oh, yes. So we won the Cisco Global Problem Solver Challenge in 2022. We won the grant challenge winners, and we won a grant of 250,000 USD. Which really helped us in doing R&D, doing pilots with the version, and also just redefining, and also just having this offices, this office, and also paying for staff. We have like engineers who know how to do the right work when it comes to biomedical engineering, but then also we've been supported by other organizations like Startup Energy, like Develop PP, that is helping us get the international patent for Vaxibox, but then also get the WHO certification for Vaxibox. So you see, like WHO is just a signifier to the world that Vaxibox is a quality product, but then getting the WHO would mean that we become the first African manufacturer to get WHO approval to make a solar refrigerator for vaccines. So it's quite a big deal.
Like
Yeah.
What impact do you want to make as Norah Magero to the community? I know you're making this impact, but what impact do you see yourself making in the next 5 to 20 years? What do you want?
In the next 5 years, I truly want to see 1 million people vaccinated using Vaxibox. I want to see hundreds of thousands of women getting oxytocin and blood for transfusion using Vaxibox. I want to see communities slowly starting to improve their economic outcomes because of better access to healthcare. I had to see women actually not spending so much of the time taking care of sick relatives because they actually got a vaccine through Vaxibox. I also want to see so many jobs created. Like Rachel, I was jobless, a jobless engineer in this country, and now I'm employing at a go 10 people, and when we do production, even up to 20 people to just manufacture Vaxibox. I want to see Vaxibox employing so many people, but also shifting the policy of how locally manufactured products in Kenya should be adopted and also just scaled within the country. But then also, I want to see environmental protection for Kenya. I want to see less landfills of e-waste and also reduce carbon emissions. Do you know how many carbon emissions are reduced by just shipping in a single fridge from China to come store vaccines? So many. I want to see that all eradicated and Kenya just being more carbon positive, or rather just closer to net zero for carbon. But also I want to see a country that truly adopts its technologies and not just scale it within Kenya. I want to see Vaxibox being used in Cote d'Ivoire, in India, like just in the next 10 years, I want Vaxibox to have reach in the whole of the global south.
Wow. And just before I come to Yali, Yali will be quite fast. I just want to ask my last, I think 2 to 3 questions. And the first question I'll ask you is that what's the scope of Vaxibox?
Oh, yes.
like where are you covering at the moment?
Yeah.
That's important. Where are you working?
Yes. So as of today, we have Vaxibox in Kajiado County, Kitui County, Homa Bay County, Makueni County. Also, there's going to be a unity in Nairobi County, just also to test that Vaxibox is still applicable in peri-urban environments, as much as it's been targeted for rural communities that do not have electricity. We just did our first shipment to Cote d'Ivoire. Yes, which is a very big deal because Vaxibox is now truly getting its footing outside Kenya, and I know this year will also be in Uganda. Vaxibox is being used to store not just vaccines alone, but also tetanus jabs, insulin, the antibiotics, oxytocin for mothers, and I know we actually will be able to store like blood for transfusion in Vaxibox.
Do you think there's any other Kenyan company that has created a made in Kenya, like equipment to support healthcare?
Yes! There's so many Kenyan companies that have actually created made in Kenya equipment and solutions to support healthcare. Mm-hmm. There's just no Vaxibox. There's just no portable cold chain for vaccines that have been made in Kenya. We're actually the first. But I know a company that create needles for better maternal care or syringes. I know a company that is manufacturing needles here in Kenya. I know a company that is also manufacturing things that are used for IV infusion, and just so many.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a good thing to also note that Kenyan manufacturing sector is growing and we are starting to create even solutions because healthcare is a basic need.
Yeah.
Education is a basic need. Food, shelter, clothing. So we're looking at those things and we're saying, can we create our own solution? Because then that means you have a market of 40,000 Kenyans out there who can actually buy your products. So that's a good thing. And the last thing I wanted to ask you is, before I ask you to give you a parting shot, is to ask you, what are the products right now, apart from the Vaxibox that you're distributing? What are the innovations you've done? And what are those lines of products that you have right now rolled up from Drop Access to the communities? And maybe you can tie that in by telling me, you've already told me how many staff you have. So you can just tell me that first.
So the products that Drop Access is distributing. So Drop Access Limited as a company is distributing 2 lines of products. Solar cooling for healthcare, that is Vaxibox, and a product called Koyo, solar cooling, solar refrigeration for the food systems and SMEs. So we have an upright refrigerator that is driven by solar, that is used for household and also for food. Then we also have a deep freezer that we normally distribute to SMEs like fish farmers, poultry farmers. For the NGO, we have solar pumps. We have a solar pump called Solarplex, that is a portable solar pump. Well, you can see we all believe in portability. That is currently being piloted and also distributed in mostly the ASAL areas of Kenya. Then also the NGO has clean cooking, energy saving jikos that we normally get from distributors and send to communities, just to ensure that even as they take up solar solutions, their kitchens are also covered with renewable energy technologies.
Wow, it's interesting how you were able to pick up your experience from working in a kitchen
and bring
it into like an entrepreneurial part of things.